Hey everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to dive into what is web development. So we're going to see the history, types, different languages and frameworks and tools. So pretty much everything you need to know about web development. In our last class, we talked about what software development is. So if you have not seen that video, make sure you go back and watch it because it's going to give you an overview and a proper understanding of what software development is and then web development. We're still in the introductory part of it, and it's very important that you have a clear understanding of what software development is and then what web development is. So also don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Subscribe to this channel and also follow us on our pages on Facebook, on TikTok at the same handle, Codewithkhrist. Also like, comment, and share. Sharing is very important so that you get to other people who are also looking forward to learning a tech skills, right? So we're going to begin with what is web development, right? So web development is the process of building and maintaining websites and web applications. It involves or includes the front end, which is the client side, the back end, which is the server side, and then the full stack, which is the combination of the front end and the back end. Now, what is the history? Web development began with Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist at CERN, the European Physics Lab, in 1989. At this time, researchers all over the world needed an easy way to share and access information. There was no simple system for connecting documents or accessing data online. So Tim came up with a revolutionary idea. He said, what if we could link documents across computers using something like hypertext. So he invented HTML, which means hypertext markup language, to the structure and what format web pages. And then he also invented HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, to transfer web pages between computers. And he also invented the URL, which means uniform resource locator, the address for each of the web page. So this combination became the foundation of the World Wide Web. So in 1991, the first website ever went live, which is info.cern.ch, right? So from there, since that time, web development has evolved, starting from Web 1 and the future, which is the Web 4, right? So Web 1, what is Web 1? Web 1 is the static read-only site, the read-only web, which was from 1990s to early 2000. So let's take, for instance, for you to understand, you walk into a library, a big library. You can read all books, but you cannot write in them or talk to anyone there. So it's just like a static web page. Websites were built just to show information, like online brochure, no interaction, no comment, no user profiles. So, and it uses technologies like HTML, simple CSS, and early JavaScript. It was hosted on simple servers, right? Mostly text, few images, and no video streaming, right? So it's very static, just read only web pages, right? So, and from there it evolved to Web 2, which is also present from year 2000 to present. It's the read write, right, interactive part, social web, right, interactive part, whereby you can now interact as a user. You can comment, you can like, you can share, uh, um where users can create, share, and collaborate. You don't just read information, you also participate. So it uses technologies like JavaScript, HTML5, CSS3, database, APIs, platforms that store, and process user content, right? So examples is something like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and the rest, and also blogs, wikis, online shopping and reviews like Amazon, right? So here you can actually interact, right? You can interact with the web as a user. You are not just reading information, rather you are also reading and interacting. So from there, we are also moving to Web 3, right? Which is the decentralized or blockchain based, it's a kind of a smarter AI driven and blockchain powered web. So machines understand data context, not just what keywords, focus on privacy, ownership, and what decentralization, right? So it uses technologies like blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFTs, contacts, artificial intelligence and machine learning and all of that. So example is Ethereum, blockchain network, decentralized apps, IPFS, AI assistants that understand your intent like ChatGPT, Alexa, and the rest of them. So then the future, which is what? Web 4 is AI driven and intelligent web, right? So in this case, is a fully integrated AI powered and interconnected world. The web understands your emotion, preference, and environment. Humans and machine collaborate seamlessly, right? It's of course uses technologies like advanced AI and machine learning, Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality, quantum computing, brain computer interface, right? So example is smart homes that learn and ask of you, AI assistants managing your life automatically, self-driving cars, communicating with smart cities. So you see how it has evolved from Web 1, which is a static, read only, to, of course, the future, which is what Web 4, right? So now, why web development? Web development is very important because it gives what global accessibility. You could be in one country and then, every other countries can access information from the web, right? So global accessibility, business and branding, scalable solution, career opportunities. There is a much career opportunity in web, and also drives innovation in all industries. So now, core languages of web development. For front end, we have the HTML, which is what hypertext markup language. It is the structure of our what web page, right? CSS, which means what cascading style sheet. It is used to add style, beautification, enhancement to our what web page. And then JavaScript, which deals with what interactivity, the interactivity of our website, making it more functional, right? Adding more functionality and interactivity to our website, right? So we also have JavaScript frameworks like React, Vue, and Angular, and the rest of them. So for backend, we have Node.js, which is a JavaScript runtime. We can have Python, we can have PHP, we can also have Java, Ruby, and what C Sharp, right? Databases, we have SQL, which is what MySQL and Postgres. We also have non-SQL, which is what MongoDB and what Firebase, right? So as we go on, we're going to go dive in deeper and deeper one by one, right? This is an overview to give you a clear understanding, right? So now, types of web development. Of course, we have the front end web development, which focus on what the user interface, user experience, what the user interacts with, the client side of a website. When you visit a website, everything you see there as a user is the front end. You see the header, you see a background color, you see an image, you see, login button is colored blue, and all of that. Everything you see there is the front end, is the client side, the user interface. It is the interaction between the website and the user directly, right? So why the back end is the server side of the website, the behind the scene of the website. It deals with the logic, business logic, it deals with the API, it deals with, storage of data, right? Database and the rest of them. So we also have the full stack web development. So if you are proficient in front end development, you are a front end web developer. If you are proficient in back end, you are a back end web developer. If you are proficient in full stack, you are a full stack web developer. So full stack web development, it involves the two, both the front end and the back end. So we also have UI UX design and web design, right? UI UX and web design, which focus on just the designing the user interface and what experience. So we have DevOps and cloud development. We also have progressive web apps. We also have e-commerce development. We have CMS development, which content management, system like WordPress, right? So now, frameworks and libraries. So we have the front end frameworks, which is what we have for React. We have the for JavaScript, we have the React, we have Angular, we have Vue, you know, and for CSS, we have Bootstrap, we have Tailwind CSS, right? So for backend, we have the Node. For Node.js, we have Express.js and Nest. For we have the Django, we have Flask, we have Laravel, we have Rails. Now, um, for full stack, we have Mar full stack development, we have main full stack development, and then the Django plus what React. So in our next video, I'm going to dwell more on this full stack development. All right. So now tools and technologies. We have version control, which is the Git. This is where we store our code. We have GitHub, we have GitLab. Then package managers, we have the npm, the yarn, and then build tools, we have webpack and write. So hosting, we can host in Netlify, Vercel, Amazon Web Service, AWS. Database, we have SQL and non-SQL, right? For DevOps, we have the Docker. Testing, we have the Jest and Cypress. Design, we can use what Figma to design the UI UX. So trends in web development, of course, we have one, responsive and mobile friendly design. Yeah, responsiveness is of course it has to be responsive. How it is displayed in our desktop computer is not the same way, because the desktop computer, the size, the screen size of our desktop computer and our phone and tablets are not the same. So you must consider how it's being displayed in the desktop computer, the um your phone, and also the tablet, right? We also have progressive web apps. We have serverless architecture. We have the jam stack. We also have AI integration and personalization. We have web assembly for high performance. We have the cloud native development. So that is it. So in summary, web development has evolved from static pages, which is the web 1, to decentralized app, which is what web 3. I think this is what the current stage we are in web. For web 4 is still the future. So it uses multiple languages, frameworks, and tools to build interactive, scalable, and modern application. It is one of the most in-demand skills worldwide. It can't be overemphasized. Yeah. So this is a quick overview of what software development is and web development. All right. So in our next video, we're going to talk about dive more deeper. Right. I'm trying to give you a quick overview. So don't forget to like, comment, and share. And also follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Codewithkhrist, and also subscribe to this channel. Yeah, thank you for watching and anticipate our next class. God bless you.